Good morning, it's Noah Wilson, and welcome to the iHollywood television show, and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you who are celebrating this special day. We are so thrilled to be bringing you the 2026 St. Patrick's Day Parade from Dublin, Ireland this year, as it's always a fun time to watch the parade with all of you and read all of your lovely comments. So comment, let us know where you're watching the parade from this morning. We've even had students from school, like classrooms, watch us as well. So if you're watching us this morning on the classroom TV, hello to all the students. Anyway, today's episode is brought to you by Tourism Ireland. Visit the island that goes beyond. You can learn more at Ireland.com. It's definitely on my bucket list to go visit Ireland because it looks so beautiful over there, right? Today's hosts are Jen Hale, Emmy-winning host and journalist, and Donal, Skehan, the TV host and food writer. They will be giving commentary and hosting the parade this year. I am very excited to see these two hosts, as I know they will be bringing the energy this morning. So let's go ahead and join the broadcast, as the parade will be starting here momentarily, right at 8:30 a.m. Eastern on the dot and 5:30 a.m. Pacific time for our West Coasters. I hope you all enjoyed the parade this year, and we thank you for choosing us to watch this special tradition that happens in Dublin each and every year. Grab your snacks, grab your coffee, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Enjoy.
Of the wild Atlantic Way, up to the romantic tranquility of Northern Ireland, down to Dublin's cobblestone streets where history and music thrive, to the tapestry of both traditional and evolving cuisine. This is Ireland on her finest day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Hello, hello, as they say here on the Emerald Isle, 100,000 welcomes alongside Ireland's favorite TV presenter and food writer, Donal Skehan.
Oh, you're too kind.
Oh, not at all. I'm Jen Hale from the NFL on Fox, and we're so thrilled to be with you this St. Patrick's Day. Donal, you're from here, a native from just 25 minutes away. You've been coming to this parade since childhood.
Yes.
What are you most looking forward to today?
I mean, the parade is always such a big celebration. For Irish people abroad, at home, it's a really big day. But it's not just a big day here in Dublin, it's a big day across the world. 30 million people claim Irish heritage. So to have a day like this where we can all get together and celebrate and say sláinte, that's what it's all about. The parade today is the biggest it's ever been. It continues to grow year on year. As a child, I used to hang out one of the windows on O'Connell Street and say hello to all the floats as they went by. So it's a huge honour to be here with you today and thrilled to be broadcasting across the US. But yes, it has grown and it continues to grow. So we're in a great position. We're going to see amazing floats today. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. We're expecting 700,000 people. We're here at O'Connell Street in the River Liffey. The parade's going to be coming right by us. And along with the parade, Donal, we're going to take folks on a journey through some of your favorite parts of Ireland, especially highlighting something you know a lot about, the cuisine.
Indeed I do. Yes, I've written 13 cookbooks, so I feel I'm well established to talk about the modern Irish food as well, because we're known for our traditional bacon and cabbage, corned beef and cabbage, but there's so much more, and Ireland is in a really exciting time for its food. You know, I always say that if you want to taste the best that Ireland has to offer, you have to come and visit. The fresh dairy, there's amazing Irish cheeses that are really at their best when you taste them on our soil. So there's, an example of that is down at the Milk Market in Limerick. It's the gateway to the Wild Atlantic Way, and it's a fabulous little spot to drop in where you can see all sorts of different stalls and things that really showcase what Irish food is all about. So we're in a lucky position, and you've tasted some of it, Jen.
I have. It's fantastic. It is so different when you're talking about fresh caught, as in a few hours ago for the fish, the grass-fed beef, and the Milk Market I loved because you could get a sample of all the traditional dishes you're talking about, but you could really also see the emerging cuisines now that Ireland's been in this renaissance with new folks, new jobs, new influences.
That's the thing. I mean, as our population grows, we're at 5 million now, 30 million across the world, but there is that element of we have new cultures and new cuisines. And what's really interesting is that we're still seeing, despite having, Korean barbecue places and Thai places, we still have the quality of the Irish ingredients that are matched with these fantastic new flavours. So it is an exciting time for Ireland. But as I always say, come here, taste the food, you'll know what it's about, and it's just that little bit different. I used to live in California and I used to make Irish stew on Paddy's Day, and it just was never the same as when I have it back here. Dublin is my hometown. I come from Howth, a little fishing town just north, about 35 minutes from Dublin city centre. Dublin is an amazing city. It's a capital city here. The spire behind us, erected in 2003, it has become a destination, and it becomes a real great touch point. There's pre-clearance in here from America, so it's an amazing experience. I used to love travelling because of that, because you take the effort out of it. The other aspect of here is that, food in Dublin has changed dramatically. We have an amazing list of Michelin star restaurants, but we also have really interesting street food as well. So go 30 minutes from there, you'll get to my hometown of Howth, a little fishing village. Beautiful. It's like a microcosm of Ireland. And you have castles, you have cliff walks, you have fishing boats that go out to the sea. It's absolutely spectacular, and I really urge you to go and visit it. I don't know what's going on behind us, but we've got the Defence Forces of Ireland.
They're arriving. The parade is pulling up. I tell you what, Dublin is absolutely buzzing. We've been here for several days, and the party preps were in full swing yesterday, especially that Temple Bar area.
Yes.
Dublin is ready to throw a party, ready to show the world what Ireland is all about. And this beginning of the parade, it's just the tip of the iceberg. And look, they're wearing the shamrocks like we are.
Yes, they are. So it's traditional to wear the shamrocks today. The idea is that, so the story goes, is that St. Patrick used the shamrock to teach Christianity to Ireland. So we're still wearing as our patron saint of Ireland. We still wear it in absolute pride. And you'll see them now. You can even get to the point where you buy shamrocks, shamrock flavoured crisps.
Shamrock. Now that I have not tried. I'll have to do that before I take that pre-clearance flight home.
I'll get you a packet. We've got the Lord Mayor.
Look at that carriage.
Wow. Hi, guys.
That is stunning. Oh.
Absolutely fabulous. This is a day where Ireland is proud to be Irish, and it really is. You can see everything that's put on show. The floats, it all represents what it is, and the theme for this year's festival is roots. So it's going back to your roots, and so many people have those Irish roots across the world. So it's we're only just seeing the start of it at the moment. We've got a bit of a standstill here for the Lord Mayor.
As we should, indeed, the beginning of the parade. And Donal, I've met many Americans already on this trip, and the parade is at the epicenter of their trip. But speaking of roots, either before the parade or after, they're spending a great deal of time researching their family heritage, their ancestry here in Ireland.
Yeah.
Because, what did you say, 30 million Americans have tied their history back to Ireland, and 70 million across the globe.
It is a global story. Irish emigration was massive during the famine times. There's an amazing museum here called Epic Museum, which talks about genealogy. It talks about the different stories that Irish people had. And, when we travelled abroad, we brought our traditions with us, and that's why it's such a big day. The amazing thing about Ireland is we have so much to offer beyond just the capital city. 2 hours, 3 hours up the road, you've got Derry, and it's an amazing place. We celebrate throughout the year. Derry Halloween is fantastic. It's the home of Irish Halloween, the roots of Halloween festivals. So look, we really have so much. And if you land into Dublin, it's 2 hours from Dublin to Galway on the other side, the other coast. So you can go east coast to west coast in 2 hour drive. So it is amazing.
Crazy. To put it in perspective for my fellow Americans, Ireland's about the size of the state of Maine.
There you go.
Can really cover a lot of territory and see so many different aspects of Ireland in one trip.
And that's the thing, I meet a lot of Americans who come over. We're in the hotel we're staying in. It's thronged with Americans, and there is that element of you don't just come to see Dublin, you see the entire country, and it is amazing because if you go to those different destinations, you get completely different experiences. But the hospitality is across it all.
And I think that's at the heart. This island of Ireland really goes above and beyond with everything they do. They love to host. They love to showcase their hospitality.
I mean, it's why everyone knows Guinness. They know Irish coffee. It's because we're generous with these sorts of things. We like to get involved. And I think, there is that element of trying to share. And Ireland is known for going above and beyond to make sure everyone who comes has a good experience.
Everybody has a great experience. I challenge someone to have a bad one.
This is true.
I feel like these are bagpipes, but I know that's not correct. It's an Irish
These are the
version.
Uilleann pipes.
Uilleann pipes.
Yeah,
Let's listen in, shall we?
Let's do it. All the way from Orange County, California.
A lot of American presence in this parade. Looking great, guys.
My gosh, what a day.
And perfect weather.
I'm telling you, this is not how Ireland always looks, but we've got the look of the Irish today.
When Irish eyes are smiling.
This is it.
Dublin Fire Brigade now approaching.
There's a big cheer for them. Well done, guys.
It's a full house. So O'Connell Street, the River Liffey, we've got the grandstands right by us. You can probably hear the crowds applauding, cheering. And again, this is just the beginning. We've got so much more for you today.
This is it, and I see they have a big flag for the Bumbulance, which is the Children's National Ambulance Service. It's a really big and important charity here as well, so it's great to see them represented on the streets of Dublin today.
Hello, gentlemen.
Looking very
Happy St.
smart.
Patrick's Day. Extremely. Extremely.
And who's this gentleman?
Oh.
Fabulous.
And he's wearing the shamrock on his hat.
This is it.
It's a great mix of Dubliners, native Ireland folks, and visitors from across the world today.
It has grown exponentially over the last couple of years. When I was a child, having different bands from across the world coming to Dublin to celebrate, that has been going on for years. The first St. Patrick's Day parade actually stems from one that originated in Florida, I'll have you know. Yeah.
Wow.
And we brought that tradition back home, and it's been hugely popular.
Well, Irish footprints across the globe, displaced immigrants who had to flee Ireland for a variety of persecutory reasons, wanted to do something to remember their Irish heritage by, and that's why I would imagine it's so popular in Sydney, Australia, Chicago, Boston, New York, Florida.
And as I mentioned, I lived in Los Angeles for 5 years. one of the big things I was always tasked with making around this time of year was corned beef and cabbage. But it's a misconception that is an Irish dish. It's actually an immigrant dish. So a lot of Irish people who went to New York, in the early 1900s, would have brought that idea of spiced beef, and spiced beef and cabbage was served. It's traditionally from the south of the country in County Cork, and because it was more readily available in Jewish delis in New York, corned beef and cabbage became the national dish of Ireland in America. However, over here we eat bacon and cabbage, so that's what you'll see on the menus in the pubs all today.
I'll take the fresh hake, please.
Oh, you'll take the fresh hake.
It was delicious. It's a white flaky fish if you've never had it. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm extremely particular about my seafood. It's some of the best fish I've ever had in my life.
That is the thing. I mean, Irish fish, we're an island nation, so we are surrounded by water, and we are proud of our Irish fish. So yeah, it's on the menus. You'll see it in seafood chowder, the classics, fish and chips and things like that. But it's just one of those ingredients that you will get really fresh when you come here.
It's fantastic. I was thoroughly blown away. I've had it 4 times since I've been here now.
You've got to stop, Jen. You've got to stop.
I have a hake problem, I admit it. All right, we've got some more of the pipes coming now. And this group, all the way from Washington, D.C., the Washington, D.C. Fire Department.
The American flag there flying high behind them. And behind them we have the St. Patrick's Festival bus, which is absolutely thronged with people.
Now, who gets to ride on this bus?
Very special people, VIPs, so we'll have to keep our eyes out who's on that bus. But they all look very excited, don't they?
Extremely, yes. Well, who wouldn't be? Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone!
I know that lady. This is the thing. As you host for the St. Patrick's Day parade, you start to see familiar faces. This is a truly Irish thing, you know.
Donal, I'm going to bet there aren't too many people in Ireland who don't know you. Over 600,000 followers on Instagram, and I know that's a worldwide audience, but many of them hail from Ireland.
Well, I've been doing it for a while now, Jen, so
we're lucky to have you today as our tour guide through St. Patrick's Day and all of this. Yeah. You know, I believe I mentioned I came here for the first time in college on a study abroad program, and I was blown away. My favorite part was Connemara, and I love the Wild Atlantic Way. There's just something mystical, magical. You know you're someplace special.
There really is. And you know, the amazing thing about the Wild Atlantic Way is it runs the entire west coast, right the way up from Donegal down to Cork, and it is spectacular. And if you get it at different times of the year, you know, you can see it in winter and it can be rough and wild, and then you'll see it in summer and it looks like almost Caribbean in places. It is spectacular. Along that route you have food producers, you have restaurants, you have local businesses, you have tour guides, you have an amazing opportunity to see the very best of what that west coast of Ireland has to offer. And you know, we really do have it all. There is an element of not only having those kind of seaside locations, but you have forests, you have trails, you have hiking, you have boat trips, fishing trips. Can I go on? Is there more?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
It's endless.
I can remember hiking the Big Bends in college, and it was just, you felt like you were right close to heaven. It was just absolutely mind-blowing.
It is
stunning territory.
And we always say as well, like the opportunity to come in straight into Shannon Airport, which is a fantastic airport, and it's known as the gateway to the Wild Atlantic Way. So you fly in there, you're already onto it. Now I have to stop you because we have our Grand Marshal.
Yes.
This is a Howth native, Vogue Williams. We'll give her a wave over there. She is our Grand Marshal. She is a TV star. She's my hometown of Howth, so it's great to see her getting the gig.
A little neighbor.
A neighbor. She's only up the road. Not today.
Congratulations to her and all of her success. I hope she has a fantastic ride today.
She looks like she's got the right car for us.
She certainly does. Absolutely. And again, the weather couldn't be more perfect today. It's ideal for a parade. We have the Clondalkin Youth Band coming up. Donal, you had mentioned this celebration of it's much more than just March 17th. And we were in Limerick earlier because I flew into Shannon for the first time in all my trips to Ireland this time, and it was so easy. They had a battle of the bands, and this Clondalkin Youth Band won Best Costume.
It did, and I have to note that we have St. Patrick in the mix here.
St. Patrick himself.
St. Patrick himself. I don't know. He looked. uninvited. Let's give him a wave. How are you, St. Patrick?
St. Patrick looks a lot more
He
fun
doesn't
than
care.
I imagined he would look.
He looks like he's over it. He's giving us stick. He's had a long old trip to get here.
Yes, yes.
What? He's saying he's exhausted.
I don't blame you, St. Patrick, at all.
No.
You've done a lot of good work over the centuries.
No, but you did highlight we have the Clondalkin band here, and they are absolutely fantastic. They're well represented, and look at this. This is fantastic. Great to see so many young faces here today, and you can see they've trained for months to get on this fabulous worldwide stage, so congratulations to them all.
And it's wonderful to see the traditions being passed down.
Yes,
That they
yes.
won't die.
Absolutely, and I was in Killarney last week, and I bought 2 tin whistles for my 2 young boys, so I don't know if that's a bad idea or a good idea, but either way.
Did you buy some earplugs for yourself and your wife?
I should have got the earplugs. I should have got the bumper pack. But there is an element, I grew up playing the tin whistle. There is an element of, that musicality, that culture that, we grew up with it. And I think Irish people, we're finding that pride again, We've travelled, we've gone around the world, and we've come back to what's really important, and that sense of culture, cuisine, all of the things we've talked about, they really are at their heart here in Ireland. So we're very excited and proud to have it here. Now look at this. What sort of float have we got coming up here? Oh my goodness.
Now, again, I'm from New Orleans, so I'm going to judge the floats extremely harshly.
Okay, well
I am an expert in this category.
Okay, well we've Bold Productions, and as you can see, they have put on an amazing effort they've put up an amazing effort into this. Absolutely spectacular. And the thing is, as I said, this is getting bigger year on year. There's 12 floats across. There's some sort of dance going on. Are you feeling it?
I do. How could you not?
I tell you, those Clondalkin band, they've got it going.
Feel free to sing along. Yeah, there you go. I will leave that to Donal.
I didn't think we'd be doing this on St. Patrick's Day.
It beats a real gig, right? A real job.
It's definitely not a traditional song, but it's a crowd pleaser.
This is a huge band, actually.
It's a big band, yeah.
Very representative of traditional Irish bands.
Absolutely. There's a huge amount of these groups around Ireland, and also, we're seeing a lot of groups coming from abroad as well who will take such pride in getting the opportunity to be here at the St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, the Ohio State University, and then we've got high school bands from California, Iowa, Arizona, all across the United States. We'll highlight them for you as they roll through. Now, speaking of shamrocks,
I think this neck group have it covered.
These guys are dressed for the occasion, that's for sure.
I just want to know where they got so many shamrocks. This is incredible.
They look fantastic.
My goodness, they're giving it socks. So they're the Eru group. Absolutely fabulous.
Beautiful.
There is a huge, the traditions of Ireland here are really on show in a lot of the different floats that we're seeing. The theme is the roots. How are you guys? Look at the shamrocks.
Fantastic.
Woo! They're absolutely wonderful. So you can see, a huge amount of preparation goes into getting their floats ready for the day itself. But also, these are young people who come away with stories of this. They make friends during this experience, and they come back year on year. So it's a fabulous day for everybody. What have we got behind us, Jen?
This is beautiful. Very intricate.
My goodness.
I love the hair.
Oh, and here we've got the Warriors.
Absolutely.
We got the Warriors.
A nod. It was interesting to me studying up on my Irish history, the amount of Viking influence.
Absolutely.
That's here in Ireland.
Yes, and if you want, there's an amazing down near Christchurch Cathedral. That is where the epicenter of the Viking settlements were in Ireland back in the years ago. And so there's so much you can learn about. If you have any interest in that, the history of it is all here. If you visit Dublin, there's so much on offer, and that's the thing is you can come come, explore, see the landscape, but there's the heritage piece that is really fascinating. And like you said, that's just one small part of a large history that unfolds once you land on the land of Ireland.
And many of the museums here in Dublin are free, so it makes it a very economical aspect if you're bringing a family. Because
Absolutely.
Look, these kiddos get expensive.
I'm telling you, we have the Natural History Museum here is fabulous. We bring the kids there all the time. The Modern Art Museum is absolutely fabulous. So it really is, you know, if you come into Dublin, I say I come into Dublin because I don't live here. I live in Howth, and it takes us 25 minutes. I'm in here on a Saturday morning. We'll go to a museum. We'll have something to eat, and you just have a fabulous day out. And we're just getting a little taste of it. So when you come as a visitor, you are immersed in that, and it is a fabulous place to explore.
I believe we have some monks now behind us, and would this be the Book of Kells?
This could be the Book of Kells. Look at that's a very big Book of Kells, which of course is available to see in Trinity College, which is an amazing version of
which is just a few blocks from us.
Literally, where are we? We're over that way. So Trinity College, an amazing place to visit.
Beautiful.
They have the library there. They have the Book of Kells that you can go and visit. So it really is, you know, that is a piece of history, and it is spectacular. If you see it in person, it is spectacular.
I have. It took my breath away. And so now for our viewers from Ohio, please welcome the one and only, the Ohio State University Marching Band, the pride of the Buckeyes. Woo!
Give it to the Americans, Jen. They know how to do a beautiful parade.
That they do. And look, this is one of the premier marching bands of the United States. You've got Buckeye Nation rolls strong across the U.S.
I can see.
An excellent academic and sporting program, and their marching band is certainly right up in the top tier.
Well, they are absolutely putting on a show today. Let's have a listen. That was a serious show of strength here on the streets of Dublin.
The precision of the steps, the timing of the music, one of America's finest, that is for sure, and just one of many American bands we'll be seeing today.
One thing I will tell you is that we have got the look of the Irish today. This weather is absolutely spectacular, and we're lucky to have it today.
Anytime you're talking about sunnies, needing to wear sunnies when you're in Dublin, it's a good day.
You're doing well. You're doing well, for sure, for sure. Okay, I think we've the Garda band next. So this is the Irish police force, and they mean business today.
Speaking of sharpness and precision,
I feel like we have to follow the Ohio State band to really step it up as the Irish now. You know?
Absolutely, they're a hard act to follow.
This is it. This is it. This is what it's all about. It's such a sense of pride today. If you're Irish or you have Irish descendants, this is something to see.
Really, the Irish have touched the globe in so many ways because when all of this forced emigration happened, when they went to their new homes, they could immediately be useful, whether it was as tradesmen, fishermen, farmers. They knew how to work the land. So really, their imprint is in so many countries everywhere.
It is. And, we have a personal immigration story where my grandfather's brother, he left in the 1930s, 1920s, and they lost touch with him. And it turned out he had a son, and he eventually ended up being a Fox News anchor, Jim Ryan. So I have to give a shout out to Jim Ryan, who's a true Irish immigration story,
Good name as well.
Jim
Sounds
Ryan.
very Irish.
There you go, exactly. So, it is, and every Irish person has that version of events where it's been touched at some part of their lives, or some family member who's moved abroad, and we're still seeing it today, But I think with the modern technology that's available to us, we can still stay in touch. I was as I mentioned, in Los Angeles for 5 years. The fact that we had FaceTime made things a lot easier, especially if you're abroad. So I think there'll be a lot of people watching across the world today who will be tuning in to see this parade to just get that sense of home,
100%. And I have a story myself coming up. We've got the Wolves of the Ancient Forest, the Waterford Spree group. So for me, it's a little bit different. My grandmother came to the U.S. from Limerick, a tiny town called Temple Glutton, as a child. She didn't have a birth certificate, so she was never able to come back. So that was part of my inspiration to come here to study abroad, to find her family. And so I show up in Temple Glutton, and I walk into the local pub, and I said, would anyone know where I could find a gentleman named John Murphy?
Right.
And of course, they all laughed at me, because how many John Murphys are there?
There's a few John Murphys out there, all right.
But when I explained he had been living in America at one point and had moved back, they said, oh, John Murphy the Yank. We'll bring him directly. And
Jen, I'd say they saw you coming in the bar and they said, listen, we'll look after this one, we'll look after this one.
I'll take it. But we've been in touch ever since.
That's
and we've
incredible.
had multiple visits, and there's really something spiritual and emotional about connecting with a generation like that.
It's
and
so
a story.
important, and especially if you have that, to have a place that you can come to and have a touchstone for all of that. And like I said, the Epic Museum, which is on the Quays here, is a phenomenal resource for anyone coming. We're gonna go over to Colin, who is down on our man on the streets. Colin, how are you getting on?
Fantastic.
There he is. How are you, Colin? How are you getting on?
I'm getting on fantastic. I've met some great American friends. They've come a long way from the States. Whereabouts are you from, guys?
Georgia and then Germans.
Have you got to travel around Ireland?
We have. My family just came and we went all the way, all around Ireland. We did the whole trek. We did Cork, Galway, Donegal, Belfast, all that. It was amazing. It was awesome. We all go to Trinity together. That's how we met.
You do. You must be very smart to be going to Trinity.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. All right, and we have some more visitors here from Ireland. Hola, ¿qué pasa? Sois de México. Have you traveled around Ireland? What are you doing here?
Studying, working here.
Studying and working. You're all very welcome. What about you guys?
We are from France.
You're from France?
Yeah.
Oh, whereabouts in France?
Near Paris.
Oh, very good. And how are you finding Ireland? You enjoying our fantastic food?
Guinness.
It's lots of Guinness. You know, years ago, Irish people used to go to France for the food, but now we stay home. Ireland has become a foodie destination. I bet the food has surprised you, has it?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what about the sunshine?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, you can now eat outside in Ireland. We've something for everyone.
It's that bird.
You're all so welcome. Have you travelled outside of Dublin while you've been here?
We are going to Galway. She doesn't speak.
Oh, you don't speak a lot of English. You're going to Galway. Well, Galway is in the heart of the Wild Atlantic Way. It's a beautiful part of the country, so you're going to love it. And the great thing about the Wild Atlantic Way, if you're in Dublin, it's really easy to get there. You can get there in a day. You can do a day trip, or you can stay for a few days. No reason not to explore our fantastic green island. All right, guys. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, merci beaucoup. Where are you from, sir?
Happy Patrick Day. Where are you? You from Ukraine?
You are from Ukraine. Okay. You're very, very welcome. Okay, fantastic.
It's Alexander.
Alexander, is it your first time in Dublin?
Dublin, beautiful.
Dublin, beautiful. All right, fantastic. Thank you, guys. Chat to you soon.
Good man, Colin. Thank you very much.
Colin hit about, 4 different languages there? I'm very impressed, Colin.
If he'd come out with a bit of Ukrainian, I think we'd really have been impressed.
Yes, I would have had to applaud. And Colin, speaking of the ease of travel, from County Meath, but now lives in Boston. And it's a very quick flight, about 5 hours, he said, from Boston to Dublin. So he gets back quite often.
This is it. And even as I used to travel back and forth as much as I did, the ease of having pre-clearance in Dublin City Airport is absolutely fantastic. It makes your life a little bit easier if you're doing regular travel back and forth here. But look, you know, Colin has a perfect example of how multicultural Ireland has become over the last 10, 20 years. And you know, we have nationalities who are proud to be Irish, who come from other destinations, and really make up the body of what modern Ireland is.
I was speaking with Colin yesterday, and he was explaining actually there are a lot of folks who have come here for political asylum reasons.
Yes, that is, especially during the recent war in Ukraine. You know, it is something, and you know, again, our hospitality reaches beyond, and you know, we've all welcomed those different nations into our country, and do it with pride as well.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking last night, meeting some of the different hoteliers, restaurateurs. We were at the Guinness factories being served an amazing meal and getting to see their operations there, and pride. That's what I was thinking. Everybody, from the bartender to the chef to the servers to the maitre d', everybody took such pride that this was their way of showcasing their country.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to see that type of commitment and that type of passion.
And you know what? You've hit the nail on the head, because we know we have something special here. We know that this country is the pride of so many people, and to be able to have someone who's like yourself coming over to Ireland and, you know, showcasing it to all your viewers, there is a sense of pride and an honour that we have to really represent our country at its very best. And you'll see that across so many different things. Last night you were in the Guinness storehouse. You had food that was phenomenal. You had beautiful
More hake.
More hake. They normally do a good beef and Guinness stew up there as well. But there is, you know, like that's the opportunity you have when you have people coming to our nation. You want to show it off to its very best. You know, I have, you know, I always spot tourists on the go, and it's in me. It's an Irish thing to welcome. If you see someone on their phone and you think they're looking a little bit struggling, they don't know where to go next, I often take them aside and go, "Where are you eating tonight? How are you going there? Who are you going with? What are you doing?" And it is that element of trying to give people the best experience when they come over here, and that extends across us all. I think most Irish people have that hospitality in ourselves, you know.
I love that. It makes the experience so personal and unique. You remember it forever.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And look, like, that's just one element of it. We've talked about the different experiences you can have here, from Derry all the way down to the south in Cork. And again, like, if you come here as a food lover, as an example, you know, there is that element of being able to stop by a local farm, try some cheese, go to a market. You know, where I'm from, near Howth, is Malahide. Malahide Castle is an amazing place.
I haven't visited. I've heard it's
the Wonder
stunning.
Lights. It is stunning. They have Wonder Lights throughout the year, so they illuminate the castle and its grounds all through the year. And Malahide Castle is an absolute destination. Only 25 minutes from Dublin, so it's a fabulous destination. Old, refurbished castle. It has so much history attached to it, and the fact I take it for granted that I have two castles on my doorstep.
Who are you?
I know.
Oh my goodness, you lead a tough life. You were bragging so much on Malahide. I looked it up last night, and they have a fairy garden, and they have a butterfly room. I was thinking it would be so perfect to bring my 5-year-old. She'd be in heaven.
Well, I have a 6 and an 8-year-old, and the butterfly room is extremely popular in their house. But again, like, it's an amazing destination, and I think Ireland has got better at that in the last 20 years of making these venues and these places that you go to visit accessible year round. So it's not just the summer months. It's, you know, Halloween is a big thing in Ireland. We are the home of Halloween.
You started Halloween.
This is it. You know, Halloween is the Sound Festival here in Ireland is huge, and it continues to grow. I think like I said, we've kind of caught on to the fact that we own these things. You know,
right.
Halloween is ours, and so, you know, it's obviously a huge thing in America, but we're taking it back a little bit. And if you go up to Derry in the north of the country, Derry Halloween is becoming one of the biggest festivals throughout the calendar year for all things Halloween, and we see people coming. We've got another American band here with cheerleaders.
Illinois, yes. This is the University of Illinois Marching Band, the Fighting Illini.
Oh.
Another band from the wonderful Midwest area of the U.S.
Jen, were you ever a cheerleader yourself?
I was. I did. How did you guess? I went to LSU. So I will say we were proud to best the Ohio State University for a national championship back in the day.
Oh, she's going to start getting competitive up here.
Hey, you know, the way y'all talk what we call soccer, we talk football in the U.S.
Okay. Uh-oh, I'm sorry we started this, Jen.
I know. You probably shouldn't have brought this up. You get my blood boiling a little bit.
Let's have a listen.
What a tremendous experience for these college students.
Amazing. You know, and to get to see the country like this with... Oh, wow.
I wonder if they and their instruments can all fit on one plane.
There's definitely some extra baggage going on there, Jen. Now, look, we need to talk about Ireland's film industry because it is growing and growing and growing. We've had Star Wars filming on the Skellig Islands on the West Coast, but more interestingly enough, there's a huge Game of Thrones following.
I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Yes.
The scenery in Ireland for that was just haunting. And you know, like there's a famous area called the Dark Hedges, which we're seeing right now. This is from one of the scenes in Game of Thrones, and it is as beautiful as it is on the screen. It is spectacular in real life. I had the opportunity to do a sword fight in the Dark Hedges at the Dark Hedges. Now, you weren't in Game of Thrones. This was
not.
for something different.
We were filming a travel show for American TV, and we went to the Game of Thrones, and there's a fabulous visitor experience that you can go along. If you are a fan of the show in any shape or form, you will get the very best of what the Game of Thrones has to offer. Not only that, but you can actually see the places where it was filmed. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, this is the place to go.
I'm waiting for the sequel series. Those stained glass windows, very poignant from the opening theme song, and worked throughout many of the Game of Thrones episodes. It was a fantastic series. Yeah. All right, we've got another band teeing up. I believe this is the City of Dublin Youth Services. Okay. Yes, indeed. Wondrous Legends of Youth. Now, Donal, I'm hoping, speaking of languages, we heard Colin bragging a little bit, dropping a few greetings in multiple different languages. Can you share a little Gaelic with us?
Absolutely. So Irish people, we don't generally speak it as widely as we should. It is our language, but over the years we get taught it in school, and there's parts of Ireland which are known as the Gaeltacht, and the Gaeltacht areas do speak primarily Irish. So it's still alive and well, and I think there's a resurgence of the Irish language coming up. There's pride in it, and I think as I grew up with it, you know, everyone complained about having to learn Irish because it's a difficult language to learn. But now things have changed. There's podcasts in Irish. We've a full channel, TG Caher, who's next to the Irish broadcaster RT, and so there is a real sense of a resurgence of the Irish language. So absolutely. So if I was to teach you one, Guramila Mahagut means thank you very much.
Okay, say it more slowly, please.
Guramila Mahagut.
Guramila Mahagut.
That'll do, Jen.
Not really, but I'll keep practicing, I promise. I've got a lot of parade left to go.
Céad Míle Fáilte, you did your Land of 1,000 welcomes, so Céad Míle Fáilte is welcome.
Céad Míle Fáilte.
Céad Míle Fáilte.
Something like that, anyway.
Guramahu, Céad Míle Fáilte, and then the one that we're most famous for on will good the air on letters, which is can I go to the toilet?
Oh, well, if you had enough Guinness, that's a very important one to know.
Every Irish school child knows that one really well because you can put up your hand in Irish lessons and ask to go to the loo. Sorry to bring the tone down here on St. Patrick's Day, but that's just the natural Irish way of doing things.
It's all part of it. I know sláinte.
Sláinte is a good one. Cheers is sláinte. What else do you need to know? Guramila Mahagut. Gia Gwitch, which is hello, and then you answer with Gia Smurgwich.
Gia Smurgwich.
There you go.
got Colin. Speaking of someone who I bet could give us a few Gaelic lessons. Colin, how's it coming down there? You
It's
finding
going
lots of new
great,
friends?
guys. It's so warm down here. I'm beginning to wonder why I wore this Aaron jumper. It's fantastic. Donal, congratulations on Will Cadogan, Dul Goodea Letters. That was always a winner. That was always the line we all knew in school. I have a bunch of people, guys, from all around the world. We have a huge crowd here from France. Can I have an ooh la la? Fantastic. I also have a couple here from Australia. Now, the only Australian I really know is G'day, G'day, G'day. Guys, you're very welcome to Ireland. How are you enjoying yourselves?
Yes, we're loving Ireland. We love Dublin. Everything about Dublin's the best. We love the people. We love the Guinness.
And we love the spice bags.
The spice bags. The spice bags are a real treat. You have to come to Ireland to sample a spice bag. Have you got a chance to travel around the country?
Not yet.
Not yet, but we're going to go to Galway. Absolutely. Going to go to Galway after here. Yep.
And you should check out Northern Ireland too. Have you ever seen an episode of Derry Girls?
I have, yeah.
Well, you might be lucky. You go north, you might even bump into a Derry girl. All right, fantastic. We have another lady here who has travelled from Africa. Where are you from?
My name is Samara. I'm from Nigeria, Imo State.
Very good. And have you travelled around Ireland a little bit?
Yes, I have.
And what do you like about Ireland?
They are welcoming, accommodating. I love the food. I love the culture, Guinness talk, everything. I love
Everything. You know, people are always impressed with accommodation in Ireland. Obviously the food, obviously the people, but accommodation is really fantastic. We have another couple who have travelled here. Where have you guys come from?
From Brazil. We are from Brazil.
You are from Brazil. Bon dia.
Bom dia.
Todo bem, todo bem. You're very welcome. What do you like about Ireland?
I love outdoors in Ireland. It's so beautiful, stunning place.
The outdoors are a big part of Ireland and a big part of why people come to Ireland. You can get out at any time of the year. We have what we call the shoulder season in January, February, March, and it never really gets that cold here, so it's kind of perfect. We have one other girl I want to say a quick hello to. She's a very proud Irish girl and she's here for the parade. Hi, what do you love about being Irish?
Because we're a brilliant country.
Because we are a brilliant country. I couldn't have said it better myself. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous.
Colin, that's amazing. That is the cutest little St. Patrick's Day fan I've seen all day. You are still watching. This is the Youth Services band just finishing up. And then you've got Oak Struck from County Wicklow.
Look at this. I think we have one of the children of Lear. So there's a lot of Irish mythology and fairy tales. And, you know, having kids, young kids myself, I love telling these stories of these fabulous myths and legends. And again, through the roots theme of this parade, you'll see a lot of touches on those sorts of things throughout the different floats and parades we're seeing today. Look at this. I think we've got a rogue group of squirrels up on this very interesting parade float.
This is the group from Wicklow now. Representing, and we've got some gymnastics going on.
We've got a frog, a cartwheeling frog.
I give her a 10 out of 10.
I'm telling you. I mean, this is what the parade is all about. It's the unexpected. You come here thinking you're going to get the Blarney Stone, you get everything and more.
And they've got musical talent as well.
They do. Wow. The effort that will have gone into these costumes is huge.
It's tremendous. And Donal, coming up next from the state of Arizona, the Camp Verde Coyote Pride Marching Band. Camp Verde, Gilbert, Arizona. That's kind of in the middle of the state, between Phoenix and the Sedona area.
Okay.
Very talented group here. And this is, again, a high school group. So we spoke about what an experience for the college kids. Even more poignant, I would think, as a high schooler to get to come visit.
And I've met these bands in the airports on my travels. There is such a sense of pride of getting the opportunity to do this.
For many of them, this is a years-long project in the making. They start freshman year, 8th grade, whatever their particular high school begins at, and they fundraise because it's an expensive trip. So they really work towards this goal of getting to come to Ireland and perform and soak up the culture their senior year. It's a huge reward.
Well, they're definitely putting on a show after all of that hard work.
They're taking advantage of it, full advantage of the opportunity, as they should.
That's a serious wind department over there. Some huge trombones going on.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I think we've a bit of crack coming up here now. I don't know what's going on, but we've got a serious bit of action here.
Now, do you know what that is?
I have no idea. I was hoping you'd know, but there's a rogue policeman on a bike. There's cars going around, and I think this is representative of Dublin City. I'm recognising some Dublin monuments here.
Okay.
And more
the
particularly,
double-decker bus.
The Dublin bus as well.
I can see that. And the doors.
Yes. The
Georgian
doors.
Georgian doors. And I love how they paint the window casings.
This is the very interesting thing. So years ago there was a window tax. So a lot of the Georgian windows, they would actually take the windows out so they didn't have to pay the window tax. So if you're in Ireland and you see a window that is cement blocked, you'll know.
That's why.
That's why. There you go. But the amazing thing about Dublin in particular is that while we are a modern city, you go just out to the outskirts here. Henrietta Street is an amazing destination, and it's an old Georgian building that you can still visit as it was back in the day. And there used to be tenements, so there'd be quite a few families living in the one house, and it was a very different way of living back then. So the ability to go back and see these places and see the history on show is fabulous.
That's one thing that I love about Ireland, Europe. You know, when we're in the U.S. and we talk about old, we're talking 200, 300 years. You laugh at us here. Old for you is 1,000 years back.
Yeah, it is.
Let's check in again with our intrepid roving reporter, Colin, who has found more friends along the parade route. Hi there, Colin.
Hi, Jen. I have indeed. I never realised I'm going to have to learn an extra 10 or 20 languages to speak to all our visitors that are coming here to Ireland. I have found more people. This girl here, guess where she's from?
Norway!
She's a Viking like all us folk from Waterford. She is from Norway. What do you love about Ireland?
All the people, the weather, everything!
Excellent. We love people to say they love the weather. And we have a couple here from the States. Where are you guys here? A couple of people. They're not a couple. They just met, but Ireland has that magical thing. They might be a couple in a few hours. A little sprinkle of Irishness. Where are you from, sir?
From Ohio.
From Ohio. What are you loving about Ireland?
People, food, culture, everything.
Everything. What about you?
I'm from Chicago and Florida, and when I actually came out here and started working here since March, and I absolutely love it here. I feel like I've lost weight because people eat better in Europe. In Dublin, yes.
Excellent. So it's safe to say you feel healthier in Ireland. More alive. Yeah? Yeah, and maybe in love by the end of the day. Thank you, guys. We have here someone else, and we're going to come to these people right here. Where are you from?
From Austria.
From Austria. You're a first person from Austria. What do you like about Ireland?
Everything. I love the people. I love the nature. I love the city of Dublin.
Dublin City is great too. We speak a lot about getting out of the city, but Dublin is a fine city. We have another couple here all the way from the States. What brought you to Ireland, guys?
This is our second trip back. We love it here. We love the crack. We love the people. We love how easy it is to come around. And it feels like we're back home again.
Whereabouts in the States are you from?
Chicagoland.
Are they still turning the river green in Chicago? They are. Very good. Okay, fantastic. It's incredible. They're here from all parts of the world, and they're enjoying the food, they're enjoying the weather, they're enjoying the crack. And we like to remind our American friends that's spelled C-R-A-I-C. It means fun.
I'm glad he clarified that.
Yes, indeed. For all of us Americans who weren't so up to speed on that. And look, you know the Dublin parade has to be a tremendous experience if you're going to leave Chicago and the festivities there to celebrate St. Patrick's Day here.
Well, I mean, Jen, listen to what we've got going on here. We're definitely having the crack C-R-A-I-C. It's absolutely phenomenal. And that really means that's a truly Irish way of saying you're having a good time, you know?
I'm having crack?
No, definitely don't say that.
That would be a faux pas.
You have to say the crack. We're having the crack. If
We're
you're having the crack,
crack,
that means you're having a great time. And
okay.
look, you can see everyone on the streets today is having the crack because there is such a generous energy that we have on the streets today. I'm almost jealous of Colin down now in the thick of it because it really is. It's not just about the parade. It's seeing the people who have come to celebrate today. And you know, people are excited. People are thrilled to be here. So it's a big day.
I mean, I'm counting. 10 10, 12 people deep lining the streets.
This is it. And we've got another amazing band who are playing us out here. It's really hard to fathom how many planes were required to get to get these guys into town, and where they're put up. There's a huge element of hospitality that has happened to get them here today, so it's great to see them having a good time.
The organization is really impressive, and I think you mentioned this is built each year. It adds a different element, adds of a more sophisticated level, and it's really something to see. I'm sure as an Irishman, it has to do your heart good to see it growing so much in popularity.
It does, and as I said, I used to hang out a window on the top of O'Connell Street, so we really stepped things up, Jen. We're now broadcasting to Fox, and there is an element where we have seen, as Irish people who've grown up here, seen the development of it, seen how our nation has grown, and see how we're represented on a global stage. And like we've talked about, there's so many destinations within this country, and I think the ability to go there and have an amazing time is now more than ever before. We have it all laid out for you. If you come and plan a trip to come to Ireland, you are guaranteed to have a good time. You will guaranteed to have some version of it that you've really come away with something memorable, and I think that's what we aim to do when it comes to Ireland.
You can come have the crack.
Have the crack in Ireland.
And actually, Ireland.com and Tourism Ireland, they have a lot of resources on their website to help you plan your trip, figure out where to go. And there's budget-friendly options as well as luxury options. You can stay in a castle, you can stay in a hostel. There's all sorts of different ways to accomplish your mission.
This is it, and all the major airlines fly here as well. You've got Delta, you've got American Airlines, you've got Aer Lingus as well. I highly recommend Aer Lingus because I'm Irish, and it's I always think when you step onto an Aer Lingus plane, you get the most beautiful welcome. It's always the feeling of coming back home. But I will say, there is an element where you can see versions of this. Like you said, if you're on a budget, you can backpack the whole way up the Wild Atlantic Way and have... I actually stayed in an eco camp in Clifton, and we brought a camper van and saw the most spectacular sunset, and my son turned to me and said, "This is the best moment of my life, Dad." So I'm telling you, sunset in Clifton on the west coast, absolutely spectacular. The eco camp in Clifton, phenomenal.
I will have to remember that. Colin has 2 sons himself, and I know they grew up coming back here with him to visit. Let's check back in with Colin. Who have you found now, my friend?
Well, I have found some kids that might have the best view in the whole of Dublin. They're up there hanging out of a window. Hopefully their mother doesn't catch them. I've also found another couple of people here who have travelled a long way. Guys, where are you from?
Philippines.
Philippines. And is it your first time in Ireland?
Yes, yeah.
What do you love about Ireland?
Of course, the friendly, welcoming people of Ireland. The nature and the pint of Guinness.
The pint of Guinness. And the weather. I know. Fantastic. All right, guys, thank you so much. We've got some more people over here. We have a lovely couple over here. Don't these look like they might have just met in Ireland? Where are you from, guys?
California.
California.
I'm from Germany.
You are from Germany. So we've got the really easygoing culture mixed with maybe a bit of more of a stern culture. But everything's working out well, right?
Yeah, California is really stern. Yeah.
And what are you enjoying about Ireland?
Oh, the traveling. We've been traveling to Galway and around here in Dublin. It's so fun here.
And how have you travelled?
By train.
By train. And the trains, you find them good in Ireland?
Yeah, they're perfect. It's super easy. Yeah.
Well, come from a German, if you're talking about the efficiency of our transportation, we'll take that every time. What are you enjoying about Ireland?
The people, honestly, everybody's so nice. It's been so much fun, so friendly.
Brilliant. We're always happy to hear that. We have another lady here behind who has come from somewhere else. Where are you from?
South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa.
From Cape Town, excellent. You enjoying your time here?
I'm loving it. I've been here for over a month now, and it's amazing.
For over a month, wow.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yes, in the future, yeah.
So what do you like about it?
I love the public transport. It's very easy to get around here. The food and the sights.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, you're very welcome. You'll be a great addition to our country if you do move. Who else have we got here? We've got another lady here. We've got a fella in the back here. From where?
Paris.
From Paris. Excellent. Have you checked out our Dublin croissants?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Is it your first time in Ireland?
I live here.
Oh, you live here. Very good. First time seeing the parade? Excellent. Great. And where about you? Oh, your friends. Okay, here you go. All right, guys. We'll check in with you in a while.
Thanks, Colin. Tremendous. You've got the Queer Arts Collective coming up now. This is a very inclusive LGBT community here in Dublin.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a huge representation here. There's a big Pride Festival here in June every year, so it's absolutely, and again, bigger every single year. We must give them a big wave. They're having a ball down there. Phew!
Celebrating St. Patrick's Day to its fullest.
Absolutely. You gotta have a bit of glitter and glamour.
It's not a parade without glitter.
I don't know if you can hear us over them. They're absolutely having a
They've got
ball.
some good speakers on that.
They do indeed. This is one of those days. I think you could not get the better weather for it. It is fabulous. Dublin is shining today. And I don't know if you can see this, but just beyond where we're stood, there's a huge big fun fair just on the banks of the River Liffey here. It is a real celebration. If you are coming as a family to Dublin, this is the time to do it because it's all here on offer. And look at what you can see.
Well, I love this dress.
The drama. We've got the fans going on here.
The wind blowing in her hair, it's just perfect. She's ready for the Oscars.
I'm telling you.
She could have been there the other night.
She's got the wave down.
Oscar Wilde, a nod.
Absolutely. And that is one big thing Ireland has on offer is our culture.
Yes.
Literary culture is absolutely phenomenal. We give them a big wave. How are you? You too. I didn't expect a bit of live interaction there, Jen.
Very good. An interview on the fly.
An interview on the fly. We've got an amazing float here.
Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken."
Very true. Very
Be
true.
yourself.
One of my favorite quotes.
Everyone else is taken. I mean, look, that's a good message for the day.
Colin was speaking about driving the wild Atlantic Way. One other destination I'd love to mention, because it's one of my favorites, driving the Ring of Kerry a little further south.
Oh,
Different
one of my
feel.
favorites.
Different feel, but
it's rugged, it's rough, and I always kind of, as a Dubliner, I go straight to Connemara because it's a 2-hour drive over to Galway and then up to Connemara. But if you have the time, the Ring of Kerry is the most Irish feeling. It's just that little bit further out, and it really has a sense of something that's truly Irish to it.
now back when I did it, probably 10 years ago, you didn't really make reservations. You would drive and you'd find a bed and breakfast wherever you wanted to stop. But I imagine it's become so popular now, it has to be a little more planned.
You do have to plan, but again, this is the modern day Ireland, so we're easily accessible. We've got another band here, so let's have a listen in.
Yes, indeed. This is the South Jones High School Marching Band. Welcome, South Jones.
Well, they got the moves. some encouragement from the crowd that are surrounding them.
The crowds are great.
Aren't they? And as Colin pointed out, we have such a mix of nationalities here who have come to celebrate the parade today.
And that's different, right? This used to be a much more just Irish tradition, but now the word's out.
I think the word is out. Tourism Ireland have done a good job of getting it out there that this is absolutely the day to come to Ireland to celebrate, you know. And I'd say the majority of people here will be going to a pub after this and getting a pint of Guinness, having a great time. And we must talk about, you know, obviously modern Irish food has completely transformed. But there are, around this time of year, I will always get asked to make the traditional foods. So Dublin coddle is a huge one. If you've ever had it before, it's basically sausages, potatoes, rashers of bacon, and some onion in a pot, and you coddle it together. It's not the most pretty, but it tastes phenomenal. So a lot of those comfort food dishes are prominent on the show today and beyond. But again, we're in the city, the capital city, so we're surrounded by really exciting restaurants, modern restaurants like Alta, Library Street, Variety Jones, just to name a few, are some of my favourites. And you know, they're independently owned Irish businesses who are absolutely phenomenal.
Not a chain, not carbon copies.
No, and you'll see on their menus, which is really popular in Ireland, is to call out the producers. So you have McNally's in the North County Dublin, who are organic farmers. You have phenomenal, and if you go to the supermarkets, like Dunnes Stores has, I work with Dunnes Stores in Ireland, and they have amazing produce that have the names of the farmers, that have the names of where your food is coming from.
What a wonderful idea! Know where you're eating, where it comes from.
Absolutely, and you'll see it on all the menus in really good restaurants. They will call out these suppliers. So we're in a very lucky position to do that, to know it's farm to fork, and we're really excited and proud to show that off.
We talked about the fish, that when we say fresh fish, we mean how many hours ago was it caught. And Colin, the beef here, this is all grass-fed. This is a much healthier version of beef than what many of us experience in the U.S.
Well, this is it. I mean, the fact that we have grass-fed beef is phenomenal. You know, you will see it, and butchers here in Ireland are still very prevalent, and you'll see butchers who, my local butcher, Rick Higgins in Sutton Cross, he's a phenomenal butcher, and he'll pinpoint those particular cuts that we should be proud of as Irish. But again, you know, you mentioned seafood. You go to Howth in where I'm from, we have a line of fishmongers that have old historical roots in that village. You've got Nicky's Place, you've got Best Shops, you've got so many different fish shops along that aisle, and they're taking the fresh fish and they're getting it on the counter. So you'll see that, and again, that goes across the country. You've got Kay O'Connell's down in Cork City as well, and the displays that you'll see are just phenomenal. It's going back to the Molly Malone days of cockles and mussels, alive, oh, you know.
One of my favorite Irish songs.
There you go.
You got a chance to eat at one of these fantastic restaurants, the Curragower in Limerick. It's right on the banks of the Shannon, right in the shadows of a historic castle. It's a tremendous location, and the food was amazing. They served us several traditional dishes, including the hake, of course.
Of course.
I had it with a pistachio sauce that was just
how modern.
divine. Yes, a little bit of a modern twist on a traditional dish. But then there was the steak, the beef, a seafood chowder.
Yeah.
Brian Murphy does a fantastic job there, and he was telling us the name Curragower actually. One means boat, one means goat.
Don't put me on the spot here, Jen.
Okay, it's one. Curra means boat, I believe, and gower is goat.
Yeah.
And so
a curragh is a traditional Irish boat.
Yes.
And the gower is the river, is it?
And the Shannon, it's certain times of the year, it'll get very shallow around the shoals.
Okay.
And so goat herders used to be able to take the shortcut and march their goats across the dry riverbank.
I tell you, I'm learning something new even today on St. Patrick's. I was actually down at St. John's Castle in Limerick, exactly where you were.
Okay.
And it is such a beautiful area. And again, like Limerick is one of those places that a lot of people will visit because they'll fly into Shannon. But again, there's so much medieval history there. I was actually with three phenomenal Irish bands all this week. Hazy Haze, The Labourers, and I've forgotten the name of the last one, but The Labourers, if you want to listen to a great Irish band this St. Patrick's Day, stick on The Labourers on Spotify. The Labourers. Maggie is their song, and it's absolutely phenomenal. We recorded them playing at St. John's Castle last week for UK
wow.
TV, and we had a ball. And that's the thing, you go to cities like that, there will always be live music somewhere in the city.
You can't beat it, that's for sure. We also went to the Loch Bar in Limerick.
Oh, very
nice. Well, it was tremendous because it was a father-son duo that sang and played the guitar, and then the daughter did the Irish dancing.
Okay.
And so not only was it tremendous entertainment, but it just reinforced what a family affair so much of Irish life is.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I come from a family business myself, so I grew up in that world. The one thing I will say about Limerick and Shannon, it's actually where the origins of the famous Irish coffee comes from, because they say a frazzled, a flight didn't quite go where it was meant to, and the Irish people who were there served up Irish whiskey, coffee, and a little bit of cream to some frazzled Americans way back when, and that's where the origins of Irish coffee begin. And again, it's a drink beyond the Guinness. It's a drink that is served worldwide at this stage.
Well, funny enough, I mistakenly in college thought Irish coffee meant coffees and Bailey.
Okay, right.
So when I came here and ordered one, I was in for a rude awakening, but it is tremendous. And we got to learn a little bit about the Irish coffee in Limerick, and they were telling us the fat content of the cow's milk, the cream, is different here, and that's why you can really truly only get an Irish coffee the way it's supposed to be in Ireland.
We absolutely, it's the fat content of the cream, you can't beat it. Let's have a listen. Who have we got? Wow. They were fantastic. They actually, I mean, I think they got the whole crowd going right there.
And they're not done yet.
Oh, they're not done yet. So much practice has led up to this moment for these bands. They're having an absolute ball. I've spotted Colin down there. He's roaming amongst the crowd.
He's having the time of his life.
He is definitely.
Not just the band.
No. is having a ball. Good man, Colin. Good man. Woo!
He's definitely working up a sweat in that orange sweater.
I'm glad he's wearing that. You know, something interesting to note, Jen, is the fact that this is obviously the big parade in Ireland and it's the capital city, but there are parades that take place throughout the country, in Cork, in Galway, and even in some of the localities as well. Up in Raheny, I know there's one in Ireland, near close to us locally. So, you know, there is, if you don't want to have to come into the city, there is many other options to celebrate St. Patrick's Day around today.
We caught one Sunday in Limerick.
Oh, did you?
Yes, indeed. It was tremendous. And that's where the Battle of the Bands unfolded.
This is it. Now, if I was a band, I'd try and get a booking on a few of them, you know.
I think that's what they did. Many of the bands marching today first went to Limerick, probably flew into Shannon at such a small, easy airport, competed in the Battle of the Bands, and then came here to Dublin.
Very good.
Got to hit several things all at once.
I feel like I think we've lost Colin to the parade.
Colin is leading a whole dance troupe now. I hope we're getting a shot of this footwork.
We have him on screen. Colin is your bottom right there. I don't think we're going to be able to talk to him. He's having such a good time. I think he's joined the band, Jen.
I think he has. Watch out, Irish dancers. Here comes Colin.
Oh, I thought that was him for a second.
I won't tell him you said that.
He hasn't got the fairy wings yet. Wow. Do you know, I love at these parade days, you know, Colin spoke to a young girl there who's so proud to be Irish, and there is an element of, you know, getting the kids involved. And, you know, at this time of year in the national schools here in Ireland, you will see the face paints, you'll see the green jumpers. Everyone has that sense of pride to be Irish, and it really is something that you see seeded through every aspect of society here. So it's fabulous to see it today. It all culminates in the Paddy's Day parade.
It's been a tremendous week for me personally, just bringing so many things back home, and the pageantry and the specialness of today.
Totally. And I must create a PSA, a public safety announcement, that it is actually St. Paddy's Day or St. Patrick's Day, not St. Patty's Day.
So no P-A-T-T-Y.
No to P-A-T-T-Y.
P-A-Z-D-Y.
P-A-D-D-Y.
Or Patrick.
There you go. You go. I used to do a lot of cooking in the US around St. Patrick's Day, and the amount of people who would say St. Patty's Day, and I could feel the blood boil. So St. Patrick's Day or St. Paddy's Day. And on screen right now, you can see the Great Irish Wolfhound. These are beautiful dogs. They're in myths and legends. There's fairy tales about these dogs, and as you can see, they are gentle giants. They're absolutely beautiful. They are stunning dogs, and they look a little scary.
Snuggle up with one.
They can look a bit scary, but they're actually the most gentle of breeds. They don't live that long. It's the only sad thing about beautiful Irish Wolfhounds.
You know, that's the thing about dogs in general.
I know.
We need to increase their lifespans by about 30 years.
They'll break your heart.
Well, they are gorgeous creatures.
A couple of years ago, we did a TV travel show around Ireland, and my guest starring role was my dog Max. So we had...
What type of dog is
we
Max?
We had a mini sheepdog that came, a mini Irish sheepdog who came around with us, and he's still going strong. He's 14 years old, and
good for Max.
Yeah, he's doing well, but he has a few troubles, but we're looking after him. We're looking after him.
As you should. Now, let me ask you this, Dolan. I'm wearing a blue jacket. Now, of course, we always think of St. Patrick's Day, the green.
Yeah.
But actually, blue also plays an important role in Irish history.
Absolutely,
folklore.
yeah. No, so blue is, if you go to any kind of public building, you'll see rugs that are blue. So it is a representative colour. We're seeing an amazing float here. You can see the effort. Alive and well, and as we say in Ireland, if you're making soda bread, you have to cross it over the top so that you let the fairies out. So if you've had Irish soda bread, these are the fairies. Someone's made Irish soda bread this morning, and they've let all the fairies out onto the streets of Dublin today.
And what do I have to do? I have to slice it.
You have to slice across the top of your Irish soda bread.
Across and across. So these beautiful creatures can escape.
This is it, and you'll see in a lot of Irish fields. There's one very close to me, an Irish fairy tree, and I know that sounds mad, and you might think I'm going mad. But we do believe that there is fairies living in these trees, and so
love it.
to knock them down would be an absolute crime. And I spotted one fall down only recently, and it hurt my soul. So it is something we do believe in. We do believe in the leprechauns, and we do believe in the fairies.
Okay, now the fairy tree, is that a particular type of tree, or can it be any tree that a fairy chooses to inhabit?
Well, it's any tree a fairy chooses to inhabit, but you'll see a lot of hawthorn trees. You'll see a lot of hawthorn trees, and again, you'll often see them if there's a tree stood in the middle of a field. Often you'll see a little barrier around it. That is because the farmers traditionally believe they do not knock down a fairy tree, and it's deep seated in mythology, and it goes way back.
Who doesn't want to live where there are fairy trees? That's a you problem. If you don't want to live where I want to live where there are.
You want a fairy tree?
Of course.
Well, come to Ireland, and we've got plenty of them.
As long as the fairies are on my side.
There you go. You got to be on the right side of the luck of the fairies.
Amen, my friend. Amen. All right, the Irish blood transfusion service coming next, and then the Morrison's Academy Pipe Band.
Absolutely, and we have the Royal National Lifeboat Service as well. Again, these guys are from all around the seaside towns of Ireland, and obviously being close to the waters, they are out on the waters patrolling, making sure everything is going. And in life-saving situations, these are the guys who'll be looking after you.
Well, and look, that's no easy task here in Ireland. These waters are rough, the shores are rocky.
Yes,
we have to.
We have all the storms.
Yes.
We have all the storms, so they are very skilled ensuring that people are safe on the seas here. Blood transfusion services as well, and behind them the Morrison's Academy Pipe Band. Oh, look at this.
The musical traditions are so wonderful.
This is it.
And so different.
Yeah, and you said it earlier, is that you'll go to a pub and you'll see someone playing traditional music, and then you'll see their daughter, and then you'll see the brother, and then you'll see the son, and there is that element of, if you play traditional music, it's often passed down through the families and through generations. So if you've got a grandmother who's great on a tin whistle, it's more than likely you'll see someone with a banjo or a guitar or a bowron. The other thing that Irish people play traditionally, and my aunt plays very well, is the spoons. Have you ever heard of spoons? So you take two spoons, and you clackety, 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 clackety. So it's a great bit of rhythm. If you have the bowron going and you have the spoons, you're doing well. So it just proves that any Irish person can make an instrument out of just about anything.
Clearly, in New Orleans we have the washboards that you play with the spoons.
Similar.
But you got the washboard to help.
And I know Dolly Parton does the nails, doesn't she? And we've a band now from Indiana who are playing us out here. This is fabulous. Some serious action, and obviously a huge amount of practice gone into these acts.
This is a special highlight for them, no doubt. Their high school or collegiate career, this is a trip they'll remember their entire lifetime.
If you hear some sniffing in the background, that's myself and Jen who are are being hit by the cold weather. It is deceptively sunny looking.
It's just a touch windy.
Windy it is. But it's not stopping any of our performance at the parade at all.
Oh, no, this is beautiful weather. And Donal, going back to your point about the music, I mentioned my grandmother's from here, so my mother's mom. My mother taught herself YouTube videos how to play the bowron.
No way.
And when I brought her here to go back to where her mom was born and meet the family in Temple Gontin, she brought her bowron, and it is a defining moment in her life, and it's one I'll always remember. The band that night invited her up to perform with them.
Oh my goodness.
And
wow.
It isn't as if she was that great.
That wouldn't matter in a pub situation.
It didn't at all. And I still have the video. I'll show it to my daughter one day. For her to get to be part of that situation and up close experience what it was like to play with an Irish band.
And that is
so
the thing.
Special.
It is so special. And the amazing thing is you can rock up to just about any place in Ireland. You'll go into a pub on a weekend, you'll have someone playing traditional music, there'll be pints of Guinness, and like that, even if you don't have Irish ancestry, come to Ireland and you'll get that sense of hospitality.
They'll
it is
adopt
fabulous.
you.
We'll adopt you. We'll bring you in. We'll show you how to do the bowron. I'm impressed you can play the bowron now. That's a drum.
She loves it. She loves it. She's teaching my 5-year-old.
Fabulous.
All right, here comes the Pipe Academy. The Morrisons Pipe Academy.
Fabulous.
Now, I don't see a bowline in here.
No,
Correct?
Correct. You may see it more with the sort of the theatre groups and things like that.
Thank you, Morrison's Academy Pipe Band. And next up, Donal, we have the Macnaws Crom calling.
So the Macnagh's theatre group are from County Galway, and they are hugely popular. I do kind of credit them with modern day Irish parades because they always have a spectacular show. And as you can see here, we've got Crom's calling. So Crom is our giant behind us, and Crom is brought out for Culture Night in Athenry. He's brought out for the streets of Galway. But Macnagh's always put on an amazing show, and there's always something to remember about their performances. Go on, lads! You! They know how to make themselves known.
Yes, you're not going to miss them.
You!
The woods, the mystical, the fairies, the creatures, such a overriding theme in so many of these floats and groups.
Absolutely, and as we said, the theme of the parade today is roots, so we're seeing it being celebrated in so many different ways. And Macnagh's, I always put them down, as I said, they're so visual and they're so inspiring in what they do. And as you can see, Crom is our giant who is on the streets of Dublin today.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Crom. Thanks for joining us.
I think you woke him up, Jen. He just looked at you.
I think I did.
Oh my goodness.
Well, if I didn't, this next group from Indiana certainly will wake Crom up. This is the Pendleton Heights Marching Band.
Fabulous. Let's have a
Welcome. Another marching band from the great Midwest area of the U.S.
That is a rally cry there on the streets of Dublin. Fabulous to see.
They're doing a good job
I'm
with the Irish
telling you.
music, huh?
Let's give them a big wave.
Representing the state of Indiana. And then Donal up next. Speaking of Limerick, from the middle of Ireland, the Lumen Street Theatre Group. The theme of this one, Save Your Bacon.
Save our bacon. I hope they're going to save our bacon today, Jen. They obviously are big fans of the pig. We could have a group of vegetarians here, I think. Bacon, of course, is a very, very popular choice of meat to eat in Ireland. But these guys are saying, eat your veggies, leave the pigs alone. Eat the broccoli, not me. Yeah, this will have the crowd divided, as there's plenty of bacon and cabbage fans today. But they're all saying save our bacon.
Lots of drama here today, folks.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
St. Patrick's Day.
this is Irish drama for you, Jen, okay? This is what we deal with.
I'll take it any day of the week. Hey, speaking of food, do you have a favorite dish to prepare?
Look, we talk about modern Irish food, but I will say at this time of year, traditional Irish lamb stew is the way I always go. And, traditionally it's done with lamb chops. You can have potatoes, carrot, and really with a lot of these Irish traditional dishes, it's about the quality of the ingredients. So good lamb, good fresh potatoes, really gorgeous produce, and not too much work. You literally pot it in a pot and let it coddle together till you have a gorgeous stew, and it's comfort food. For an Irish stew, you want to cook it so that the meat falls off the bone. So keep going, and if you need to top it up with a little bit of liquid, you can do that as well. Now, next up we have the Fairview Scout Group. So these are, again, locals to me. Dublin Fairview Scout Group. This is the Scout Group has a big following in Ireland. You'll see the Sea Scouts, you'll see the regular Scouts, and my kids go to a local Scout group as well. So the Howth Sea Scouts are a very popular one as well. But today we've got the Fairview Scout Group, and it's great to see this group of empowered young people to come out on the streets and celebrate what they do. For young people to be a part of something like this, it's a really important group to be a part of. How are you, lads? Good on you. Woo!
You've got some little tots there. That's a long way to march today.
Good on them. Good on them.
They got their exercise.
I went along and did a cooking demonstration for our local Scout group recently, and I got the official Scout scarf.
Oh.
So I feel I'm
You're
an
one of the
honorary.
group,
Absolutely.
yes.
I'll give them a little cheers today.
Earning your stripes.
This is it. Woo! It is, I think as a parent, having a group like this where they can come together and they can do something positive, it's great to see the Scouts at work.
And again, making sure that tradition, that history, that culture gets passed down.
Absolutely.
Not just through stories, but through active participation.
Totally. And, it's interesting. It kind of leads us on to the fact that the experiences that you can have in Ireland are now beyond the usual tour groups. You can go on, and there's a fantastic local place called Howth Heights, and you can do adventures around the forests. You can do all sorts of things. So, forest schools are popular here as well in Ireland. So you'll have kids who will go to forest school after their regular school, and they'll go out and they'll do all sorts of crafts in the woods. So it's an amazing connection with what nature has to offer. And
there's so much nature here on the Emerald Isle, that's for sure.
There is.
All right, I need you to explain this next group for me a little bit. So this is Volcadona, the capture of, I'm going to ask you to help me with the pronunciation, Don Qualine?
Don Calinia. I think it's... I'm going to be honest with you, Jen. I don't know much about this one, but they are absolutely... We've got the Wickerhead mans. They're using a traditional hurley stick there as well as the weapon, which it was used back in the day. Again, Irish mythology, Irish legends, all on display here today. And this is the beautiful thing, is that you will see it represented throughout the parade here. There are these touch points of myths and legends that are represented in these different things. This is a real sense of celebration, and you can see some traditional Irish knitwear there as well. There's a huge tradition, and you'll see a lot of Irish people wearing tweed as well. Tweed and the Aran sweaters as well are very popular in this time of year.
I have an Aran sweater at home. I don't have much occasion in New Orleans to wear it, but when I travel for football games, I'll wear it. Speaking of Aran sweaters, why don't we check on our friend Colin and see what jig he's dancing, who he has sucked into his web now. Hi there, Colin, where are you at?
I'm here with a bunch of beautiful people all the way from Texas. Are you having a great time?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Is it your first time in Ireland?
Yes, first time in Ireland.
Okay, but I'm sure they'll be back. We have lots more marching bands coming up behind. We have so many bands that came from the States, and the colour and the cheer they're bringing is really exceptional. Where are you from? You're from Texas too?
Yeah, I'm from Capel, Texas.
Okay, fantastic. What do you find different about Ireland?
The food, mostly. It's really good here.
Okay, excellent. A lot of more meat and fried food in Texas, is there?
A lot, yeah. We eat brisket every day.
Eat biscuit every day. We have biscuits with our tea here. It's a little bit different. All right, fantastic. And behind, we have more. You can see in the distance, we have some great characters coming up on the backs of lorries. We have another lady here. You're also from Texas.
Huh?
You're from Texas?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you like about Ireland? Irish dances, yeah, they're very, very different than American, right? A little bit more like the folk stuff.
Yeah, I like to dance and stuff. It's beautiful.
Excellent. Okay, guys, fantastic. It's brilliant. Thank you for coming. Have you guys been here before? No. First time. What, and you're loving it? Yes. Yeah. Are you going to go out all night? You're going to go partying. What's the crack? The crack is good. Very good. All right. Whereabouts are you from?
America, Texas.
From Texas in the States also. How many of you came over here?
About 100, maybe more.
Wow, 100. And are you in university?
No, high school.
In a high school? Wow, that's not a bad high school trip. When I was in high school, we just went to maybe to the library or somewhere like that, you know. Fantastic. I like your green hat. Excellent. All right. We've got loads of numbers coming here behind us. Here's another man, also from Texas, right?
Yes, from Texas.
Yeah. Are you enjoying your first time here?
Yes, I am.
I better let you play your trumpet. All right, Donal, there we go.
Don't be distracting them, Colin. Oh my goodness, I don't know how he does it. He gets in amongst the band. He might as well be handed a wind instrument because he might as well be playing in the band at this stage.
We're going to put him to even more work next year, that's for sure. And he was interviewing multiple members of the Coppell High School Marching Band from Coppell, Texas. Great job, gentlemen, and great job, Colin. Donal, it has been such a pleasure to get to spend the St. Patrick's Day with you, and thank you for teaching me so much.
It is my absolute honour as an Irish person to be here in the centre of Dublin, at the heart of it. We are so thrilled to be a part of it. And look, we want you to come back. We want you to come and try some of the traditional food. I'll bring you to some of the restaurants. But if you are on the fence about coming to Ireland, this is your moment. Book the flights. We'll look after you.
Do it now. I'm booking my return flight before I leave.
I'll hold you to it, Jen.
What a tremendous celebration of Irish culture and heritage. Truly, yes, it's a story marked with some tragedy, but also with great triumph as we look at the footprints and the lasting impressions the Irish have left, not only here in Europe, but across the globe. Thanks so much for being with us today on Fox Live Now, everybody. To you and yours from all of us, all of our extended Irish family. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you next year.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.